It started that night.
My name is Officer Maria Santos. I'm 29 years old, and I work for the Albuquerque Police Department in New Mexico. I've been on the force for 5 years. I've seen a lot. Domestic violence, gang shootings, overdoses, you name it. I thought I'd seen everything this job could throw at me. But on February 8th, 2024, I responded to a domestic disturbance call that changed everything I thought I knew about reality. Because the address I was sent to, it shouldn't have existed. The street was real. The neighborhood was real. But the house I was looking for, it wasn't there. Except it was, and the woman inside was screaming for help. And by the time I got out of that place, I wasn't sure what was real anymore. I'm writing this because nobody believes me. Not my partner. Not my sergeant. Not the department psychologist. They think I had a breakdown. Stress? PTSD. Maybe I did. But I know what I saw. I know what happened. And I need someone to believe me. Because that house is still there. Or it isn't. I don't know. But the screaming, I still hear it. Every night. Coming from a place that doesn't exist. The call came in at 11:37 p.m. Dispatch said domestic disturbance. Female caller, crying, said her boyfriend was trying to kill her. Address 2847 Cale Vista, Southeast Albuquerque. My partner Rodriguez and I were closest. We took it. Female sounds terrified, dispatch said. Multiple calls from same address in past month. All disconnected before we could get details. Copy that. We're 3 minutes out. We drove through the neighborhood. Older area, small houses, lower income, streetlights flickering. Not unusual for this part of town. But Rodriguez drove. I checked the computer. Previous calls to 2847 Cale Vista, 6 of them in the past 5 weeks. All domestic disturbances. All dropped calls. No officers had ever actually made contact. Notes said unable to locate address on 3 occasions. That's weird, I said. Why can't they find the house? Probably just GPS errors. System glitches. Happens all the time. We turned on to Cale Vista. Checked the address numbers. 2835, 2839, 2843, then 2851, no 2847. Where the hell is it? Rodriguez slowed down. We passed it. No, look, it goes from 2843 to 2851. There's number 2847. That doesn't make sense. Has to be here somewhere. We drove back, checked again. Same thing. The address simply didn't exist. There was a gap, a vacant lot between 2843 and 2851. Overgrown grass, chain link fence, nothing else. Rodriguez radioed dispatch. We're at the location. No structure at this address. It's an empty lot. Can you confirm the address? Static. Then, address confirmed. 2847 Cale Vista. Female caller still online. Says you're outside. Says she can see your patrol car. I looked at the empty lot. Nothing. Just darkness and weeds. Dispatch. There's nothing here. Are you sure? My radio crackled. Then a woman's voice, crying, desperate. Please, please help me. He's going to kill me. I can see you. You're right outside. Why aren't you coming in? I grabbed my flashlight, got out of the car. Rodriguez followed. Ma'am, this is a PD. Where are you? We can't see a house. I'm right here, right in front of you. House number 2847, please. I shined my flashlight at the empty lot, and for just a second, I saw something. A shimmer, like heat waves. And through it, barely visible. A house, small, single-story, lights on inside, windows, a front door. Then it was gone. Just the empty lot again. Did you see that? I asked Rodriguez. See what? The house? It was there. For just a second, Maria, there's nothing there. We need to tell dispatch. The woman's voice came through again. Please, he's coming back. He has a knife? Please help me. I walked toward the empty lot. Toward where I'd seen the shimmer. Rodriguez grabbed my arm. What are you doing? She needs help. She's right there. I saw it. Maria, you're freaking me out. There's nothing there. But I heard her screaming, so close. Like she was 10 feet away. I pushed through the chain link fence. It wasn't locked, just hanging open. Walked onto the lot, and the moment I stepped onto that property, everything changed. Suddenly, the house was there. Solid. Real. Right in front of me. Lights on. I could hear arguing inside. A man yelling. A woman crying. I turned around. Rodriguez was gone. The patrol car was gone. The street was gone. I was standing in front of a house that shouldn't exist, on a street that looked different, older, like it was from a different time. Rodriguez. I called out. No answer. My radio was static. No signal. My phone had no service. I heard glass breaking inside the house. The woman screamed. I drew my weapon, approached the front door. APD, opened the door. No response. Just screaming, crying, a man shouting, shut up, shut up. I tried the door, locked. I kicked it once. Twice it splintered, gave way. I entered. Gun drawn. Police. Show me your hands. The living room was destroyed. Furniture overturned. Broken plates. Blood on the wall. but no people. Empty, ma'am. Sir, where are you? The screaming came from down the hallway. A bedroom? I moved toward it. Cleared corners. Standard procedure, but my hands were shaken. Something was wrong. Very wrong. I reached the bedroom. Door closed. I could hear her, right on the other side, crying, begging, please don't, please, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. A man's voice. You're sorry, you're always sorry, but you keep doing it. You keep making me angry. I'll change, I promise. Too late. A scream. Cut short, I kicked the door open. Police. Freeze. The room was empty. No one there, but the walls. The walls were covered in blood, fresh, dripping, and on the floor. Written, in blood, were words. Help me, I'm trapped. Been trapped since 1987. I backed out of the room, my heart pounding. This wasn't real. Couldn't be real. I heard footsteps behind me. Spun around, gun up. A woman stood in the hallway. Mid-30s, bruised face, torn clothes, crying. Thank God you came, she said. He's going to kill me. He's killed me so many times. But it keeps happening, over and over, every night. For 37 years, ma'am, you need to come with me. Right now, we're leaving. I can't leave. I've tried. Every time someone comes, police, ambulance, fire department, they try to take me, but I can't cross the threshold. I'm bound here, to this house, to this night. What are you talking about? February 8th, 1987. That's when he killed me. That's when I died, right here, in that bedroom, and I've been reliving it ever since. Every night, same fight, same violence, same death, over and over. You're not dead. You're standing right here. Am I? She looked at her hands. They were fading, becoming translucent, or are you just seeing me because you're sensitive? Because you can see what others can't. I heard a door slam, heavy footsteps, a man's voice. Where are you? You can't hide from me. The woman's eyes went wide with terror. He's coming. You need to leave. If he sees you, you'll become part of it too. You'll be trapped here. Like me, I'm not leaving without you. You don't understand. This house doesn't exist in your world. It exists in mine. The world of the dead, the world of the trapped. And if you stay too long, you'll forget how to get back. The footsteps got closer. I saw him, a man, tall, muscular, holding a knife, but his face was wrong, blurred, like I couldn't focus on it. You brought the cops, he said to the woman. You think they can save you? No one can save you. You're mine, forever. He charged at her. I raised my gun. Stop, police. He didn't stop. I fired 3 shots. Center mass. The shots hit. I saw them hit, but he didn't fall. Didn't even slow down. Just kept moving toward her. She screamed, ran, into the bedroom. He followed. The door slammed shut. I ran after them. Grabbed the door. It wouldn't open. I could hear her screaming, hear him yelling, hear the sounds of violence, then silence. I kicked the door. It opened. The room was empty, but written on the wall, in fresh blood, help me tomorrow night. Same time, same place. I'll be waiting. I stumbled out of the bedroom, down the hallway, toward the front door. And when I stepped outside, I was back on Kale Vista, the real one. Rodriguez was standing by the patrol car, looking at his watch. Maria, where the hell have you been? I've been calling you for 20 minutes. I was in the house. With the woman. Didn't you see me go in? What house? You walked into the empty lot and just stood there. For 20 minutes, staring at nothing. I tried to reach you, but you weren't responding. I was about to call for backup. Are you okay? I looked at the lot. Empty, dark, no house, no shimmer, nothing. I bang it. I was inside. I saw her, the victim. She said she's been trapped since 1987. She said she dies every night. Rodriguez put his hand on my shoulder. Maria, I think you need to sit down. You're not making sense. Check your body cam. Check mine. It'll show what happened. We checked. Both cameras showed me walking into an empty lot, standing still for 20 minutes, then walking back out. Nothing else. No house, no woman, no gunshots. But when I checked my weapon, 3 rounds were missing. 3 casings on the ground, right where I'd fired them, inside a house that doesn't exist. The department put me on administrative leave, mandatory psych eval. They think I had a dissociative episode, stress-induced hallucination. But I went back 2 nights later, February 10th, same time, same place. I stood on that empty lot at 11:37 p.m. and I heard it, screaming, crying, from a house. I couldn't see, and I heard her voice. Please, please help me. I'm trapped. Been trapped since 1987. Help me. I go back every night now. Same time, same place. Trying to find a way in, trying to help her, but I can't. I can only hear her die, over and over. My name is Officer Maria Santos, Albuquerque Police Department, New Mexico, and I responded to a domestic call at an address that doesn't exist, to help a woman who's been dead for 37 years, but she's still dying. Every night, at 11:37 p.m., calling for help, begging someone to save her. If you're a police officer, if you get a call to an address that doesn't exist, if you hear someone begging for help from a place you can't see, ... single quotes, to ignore it. Don't dismiss it, because they're real. They're trapped, and they need you. Even if you can't save them, even if you can only witness their suffering, at least they won't die alone. My name is Deputy Aaron Cole, badge number 7423, Arizona Highway Patrol. I've been working the long stretch between Flagstaff and Winslow for 8 years, and I've seen my share of bad crashes, coyotes, fugitives, even a tornado once. But nothing prepared me for what happened at mile marker 12 last winter. I filed a report, but not the real one. The real story is the one I'm telling you now. It was December 28th, when dispatch called in a possible 10 to 54, a stalled vehicle off Highway 87. The caller sounded panicked, whispering like something was beside him. Dispatch replayed the clip for us. There's someone in the road, no clothes. I think he's hurt. Oh God, he's coming toward, then screaming, then nothing. We never got his name, just coordinates. Mile marker 12. I was the closest unit that cold night. Empty road, my headlights cut through the fog that had rolled in suddenly, thick as smoke. Arizona doesn't get fog like that. It felt wrong immediately. The car was sitting sideways on the shoulder, door wide, open hazards blinking into the darkness like a heartbeat. I got out slowly, hand on my holster, state police. I called. No answer. Inside the car, driver's seat, empty phone on the floor. Screen cracked, keys still in ignition, bloody fingerprints on the inside of the windshield not smeared. Scratched, like someone dragged their nails down the glass from the inside. That detail still bothers me. Buddy, the dash cam recorded everything, but the footage becomes unusable. After 2:58 a.m., you'll understand why soon. I walked down the shoulder, following footprints in the frost. Bare footprints. Deep ones, like the man was heavy. Or running. Fog swallowed the world beyond 10 feet. Quiet, too. Quiet. Then I saw him, a figure standing right in the middle of the highway, facing away, tall, thin, shivering violently, naked, pale, like he was carved out of wax. Sir, I'm with Highway Patrol, I said. I'm here to help. Don't move. He didn't respond. Didn't turn, didn't breathe. I got closer, slow, steady, hand on my taser. Sir, talk to me. He tilted his head left, then right. In jagged, unnatural angles, the cracking sound wasn't normal, like bones grinding wet. Sir, stay where you are. He turned around, and I swear to God, his face wasn't finished. No eyes, no nose, just a mouth stretched too wide, like someone had drawn it with a knife. He opened it, not to scream, but like he was copying me, like he was trying to understand how a human stands, moves, exists. I reached for my radio, A12, requesting backup now. The thing took one step toward me, then another, slow at first, then fast. Too fast, I drew my gun. Stop right there. It didn't stop. It jolted forward in bursts like it moved between frames of a video, first 10 feet away, then suddenly 5, then 2. I fired. Once, twice, 3 times. The shots echoed down the empty highway. The thing staggered, then straightened, then walked like nothing touched it. Bullets don't do that. Not to anything alive. It opened its mouth wider, jaw cracking downward until it almost split. And then in a clear, perfectly human voice it repeated my exact words back to me. Same tone, same breath. Stop, right? There I froze. That was learning. I sprinted back toward the car, shouting into my radio. A 12-2 dispatch. I need units now. Possible 10 to 96. Suspect non-responsive. I need static. Nothing but static. I jumped into my cruiser, slammed the door, turned the engine. The car didn't start. Lights dimmed, computer shut off. Radio died. Fog thickened until the windshield looked painted white. Something taps the glass. Tap, 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 tap. Slow like knuckles. I raised my flashlight, with shaking hands. The beam barely cut through the frost. Then a face pressed against the driver's side window. Not a full face, just that same stretched mouth. Smiling. The voice wasn't mine this time. I whispered the same whisper from the original caller. He's coming toward. My blood turned cold. This thing had been at the caller's car. It had heard him, and now it was using his voice. The door handle twitched, then shook hard, then harder. I floored the gas, somehow. By miracle or panic, the cruiser roared to life. The thing's hand slid across the window, leaving streaks like melted plastic. I sped off so fast the tires screamed, but something ran alongside me. I'm not exaggerating. 20, 30, 40 miles an hour it kept pace, then veered off into the fog with impossible speed. I didn't stop driving until I hit the reservation border, where another unit finally spotted me. I tried to report exactly what I saw. Supervisor shut the door, told me quietly, "We don't write that kind of thing down, son." They filed it as mental crisis subject, fled scene on foot. But they never found footprints, or the caller, or the creature. 2 days later, I returned to the scene with a senior officer. Daylight, clear sky. Everything looked normal, except for one thing. On the asphalt near mile marker 12, in a perfect straight line, were copies of my boot prints. Same pattern, same spacing, but they were wrong. Each print was turned outward, like whatever made them didn't understand how feet work. My partner joked. Looks like someone walked like a duck, but my stomach twisted because I remembered how it moved. Those jerky frame skip steps, those wrong angles. It wasn't walking wrong. It was practicing. It was trying to imitate. Me, learn me, become me. 2 weeks later, I got a call from my girlfriend Jenna. She sounded confused. Hey, why were you on our security camera last night? My blood froze. I wasn't. Yes, you were. Same jacket. Same walk. You came right up to the front door, but you didn't knock. You just stood there for 10 minutes. I drove home in minutes, heart pounding. I checked the security footage myself. There I was, standing in the snow facing the camera, perfect stillness, same build, same clothes, same height, but not my face, just a stretched, unfinished smile. And the audio? There was audio, a whisper repeating over and over in my voice. Stop right there. I transferred to another district soon after. I don't patrol that highway anymore, but sometimes, late at night, Jenna swears she hears footsteps outside the house. Not walking, practicing. My name is Constable Daniel Mercer, badge number 19,472. I've been with the Ontario Provincial Police for 10 years, stationed out of the North Bay Detachment, covering the remote outskirts between Redbridge and Northridge Township. That stretch is quiet in winter, too quiet sometimes. Most calls are wildlife collisions or drunk snowmobilers, but the one that came in on January 14th, 2023, at 3:27 a.m. didn't sound like either. The dispatcher only said, Constable Mercer. Trace shows repeated emergency redials from an old landline cabin near Northridge Lake. Caller not speaking. Background audio, unusual, you're the closest. Northridge Lake has only 3 occupied cabins in winter. Hunting places. Nothing else. Except one, a cabin that's been abandoned since the 90s. Guess which one the call came from? The roads were half iced, half powder. My tires dragged deep grooves as I made my way through the forest. Outside the cruiser, snow fell so heavily that the world looked like static. At around the 17-kilometer mark, radio signal dropped to 1 bar. That happens up there sometimes, but this time felt different, like the air itself was too thick for radio waves. I pulled up to the coordinates. Old wooden cabin. Porch collapsed on one side, half buried in snow. No tire tracks except mine. No footprints. Inside my cruiser. The emergency operator replayed the most recent call audio for me. A faint knocking. And a whisper, repeating the same word over and over. Cold, cold. Not a child, not an adult, something in between. Then the line went dead. I stepped out, boots crunching in the snow. My breath hung in front of me like a ghost. The cabin door was cracked open. I pushed it slowly. The hinges didn't squeak. They breathed. A lone, low moan of wood grinding against damp air. I announced myself. Ontario Provincial Police. If anyone is inside, make yourself known. Silence. Then a faint thump from deeper inside. My hand tightened on my flashlight. I stepped in. The temperature dropped instantly, colder than the air outside. It felt like stepping into a freezer. Every breath turned into heavy clouds. Inside smelled like dust, pine, and something else, like wet hair. The main room had a rusted wood stove, fallen chair, and on a small table, a rotary phone, olive green, 1970s, still plugged into the wall. It was vibrating, not ringing, vibrating like a cell phone. Though rotary phones never do that, I stared at it. It rattled faster, then stopped the moment I took one step. Toward it, my radio hissed. Just one line, cold, cold. Not dispatch, not a person. Something was inside the frequency. Before I could radio back, another noise came from the attic, a dragging sound, like someone slowly walked, their feet sliding, toes scraping the wood. I aimed my flashlight upward. Dust drifted down from the ceiling. Like ash. Something moved above the rafters, unevenly, like it crawled using elbows instead of feet. My pulse hammered. I whispered, is anyone injured up there? No answer, but the dragging stopped. Then 3 knocks, slow, rhythmic, directly above my head. I stepped back, gun drawn. The phone behind me started vibrating again. Violently this time, so violently it fell off the table and hit the floor. The line clicked open by itself. A voice spoke. He's here. Not the whisper from before. A man's voice, older, calm. Too calm. I said, who is this? Static swallowed the rest. Then the attic door ladder unfolded by itself and dropped down. Wood. Slam. Dust exploded into the air. Every instinct told me not to climb, but protocol demanded I check for injured persons. I swallowed. The fear and went up. It was pitch dark, except for my flashlight beam slicing through rows of old furniture. Broken bed frames. A child's metal sled. In the far corner, footprints in the dust. Small. Bare. Leading behind a wardrobe. I followed slowly. Police? Are you hurt? I said, voice shaking. Footsteps answered. Not mine. Fast. Light. Scratching on the wooden beams behind the wardrobe. I swung the flashlight around the corner empty, but my beam hit something else on the far wall. Long scratch marks. Fresh. Parallel. Like fingernails had carved straight down. Over and over, until the wood splintered. Then, a breath, right behind me. I spun. No one. But the temperature dropped suddenly so low that my fingers went numb. Frost formed on my radio. Then a whisper brushed past my ear. Cold. I jumped. heart punching my ribs. I backed toward the ladder, not taking my eyes off the dark desk when the lights came on. Not cabin lights, police lights, blue and red flashes filled the cabin from outside. I ran down the ladder and out the door. My cruiser was running. Engine on. Lights spinning, driver's door wide open, but I had the keys in my pocket. Dispatch, do you copy? I yelled into my radio. Only the same chilling word, cold. I approached the cruiser carefully, gun raised, the interior dome light flicked on. My breath caught. Someone had written on the inside of my windshield, from the inside. And smudges of condensation. He waits in the wall as I felt watched. Stalked. Like something was standing just outside my peripheral vision. A fog rolled in from the tree line, thick, gray, unnatural. It swallowed everything behind me. I couldn't see the cabin anymore. My hand shook as I tried to unlock the cruiser door, though. It was already open. Then movement, a dark shape, emerged through the fog on the cabin porch. Tall, thin, human-shaped, but wrung. It jerked forward one step, then another, like its joints didn't bend correctly. My instincts screamed to shoot, but when my flashlight beam hit it, there was nothing. Just the empty porch, but the pressure behind me told me I wasn't alone. I turned. What I saw made no sense. In the cruiser window, I could see my reflection, but it wasn't moving the way I moved. Its head tilted slightly. Its lips moved on their own. I froze. My reflection whispered, "He's still upstairs." I stepped back in horror. The reflection smiled a long, unnatural curl. Then the radio on my shoulder screamed with a child's voice, "Don't let him out." The cabin door slammed behind me like something hit it from the inside. Snow exploded off the roof. I aimed my flashlight at the porch. Nothing. I swept the tree line. Nothing. Then I lowered the beam, and a face stared back at me inches from the light. Gray. Frozen. Wide, unblinking eyes. Ice crystals hanging from the lashes. He was a boy, maybe 8, standing barefoot in the snow, but he left no footprints. He opened his mouth as if to scream, but produced no sound. Just a white cloud of breath. Then something yanked him backward into the fog so fast he vanished like a puppet on a string. I ran to the cruiser, jumped in, slammed the door, floored the gusts. The fog chased the cruiser like a living thing, swirling, pressing against the windows. Only when I hit the main road did it finally let go. Next morning, I returned with 2 other officers. The cabin was warm. Inside, no frost, no prints, no scratches, no phone on the floor. Only one thing remained, my windshield message. He waits in the WALL, except now. Someone added another line beneath it, finger drawn. Fresh. You should have stayed. We tested it. Temperature, humidity, prints. Nothing. The region superintendent told us to close it as a false alarm. But I know what I saw, what I heard, what breath down my neck. Sometimes, late in my patrol car, my radio crackles with static. And a whisper follows. Cold. My name is Constable Adrian Holt, Ontario Provincial Police. 12 years on the job. Mostly quiet beats near Thunder Bay. Winter shifts are long, lonely, and full of calls that turn out to be nothing more than drunk fights, stranded motorists, or wolves knocking over trash cans. But the case from February 2021, on the edge of Lake Nipigon, still wakes me up at night. Not because it was gruesome. Plenty of calls, or not because it was supernatural, though sometimes I think it was. It haunts me because every detail was documented, photographed, and verified, yet none of it makes sense. Dispatch sent me out at 3:17 a.m., possible exposure fatality, just outside a tiny settlement called Beard. Wind chill was -30, and every breath felt like inhaling needles. The caller was a trucker who had stopped to chain up his rig. He saw something frozen in the ditch. Happens often. Hikers, drifters, sometimes people trying to walk home drunk and not making it. When I arrived, my headlights caught the shape immediately. A man, sitting upright, back perfectly straight, hands resting on his knees, perfectly still, not collapsed. Like most hypothermia victims, not curled up. Just sitting. I approached slowly, crunch of snow echoing way too loud in the night. His face was blue-white. Frost crusted his eyelashes. His lips were split and cracked. He wore only jeans and a thin flannel shirt. No jacket, no boots, just socks. Frozen stiff like stone, he looked like he had been sitting there for hours. I checked for a pulse. Nothing. Skin felt like cold steel. Male approx mid-40s. I reported over radio. Deceased. Severe exposure. Routine, I told myself. Just do the paperwork. But then I noticed something that stopped me. His eyes. They were open, wide, frozen solid, and looking directly at me. My stomach tightened. Exposure deaths don't freeze people with eyes open like that. Usually they shut or glaze. These were locked in place, like he froze mid-stare. I took photos, documented everything, called for coroner transport, and waited in my cruiser with the heater blasting, hands shaking from more than cold. I didn't know then that the night was about to get worse. By morning, the coroner, Dr. Ville, called me into the office. You need to come look at this. she said, and she never sounded rattled. The body was on the metal table. They'd thawed him enough to examine him. He has no frostbite patterns, she said. I frowned. He was out there for hours. Exactly, but there's no cellular breakdown, no tissue tearing, no crystallization in the blood vessels. She tapped the man's arm. He's frozen, but not the way humans freeze. I didn't understand a word. She pointed at the skin. It's like he froze in an instant, not gradually. Then she added, we also found something else. She lifted the man's arm. Underneath were bruises, perfect finger-shaped bruises. Someone had grabbed him hard. Assault. I asked, not recent. These bruises are days old, maybe weeks, and no ID. I asked none, and his fingerprints don't match any database. A John Doe, frozen instantly. No boots, no jacket, no ID. I asked for the time of death. She hesitated. This is the strange part. His core temperature is inconsistent. He was frozen, but the internal tissues hadn't fully It's almost like what? I pushed. Like he didn't freeze where he was found, she said softly. He was moved. Moved, placed, sat upright. Someone arranged him. I left with goosebumps crawling under my uniform. 3 nights later, just past 2 a.m., we received another call. Same highway, same stretch of road, same description, something frozen in the ditch. I raced out there, heart pounding. My headlights swept across the snow, and I slammed the brakes. A man sat in the ditch. Same posture, same clothes, same face. The same man. My breath hitched. I forced myself out of the cruiser, boots crunching the ice. It couldn't be him. His body was in the morgue. I had literally seen it, but the man looked identical. Same flannel shirt, same cracked lips, same frost crust on eyelashes. Only this time, he wasn't fully frozen. His eyes moved. Just a flicker. A shift. Tracking me, sir. My voice cracked. Are you alive? His jaw twitched. A small, horrible grind of frozen cartilage. Ho! The sound was like ice breaking. He tried to speak. I stumbled backward, slipping on snow. Stay where you are. His head tilted, stiff, unnatural, like something mimicking human movement. Then he whispered in a voice that scraped like frostbitten metal. Not done. I grabbed my radio. Dispatch, I need backup now. A gust of wind howled down the road, swirling snow in a blinding sheet. I threw my arm up, shielding my face. When the wind stopped, the ditch was empty. Snow undisturbed. No tracks. No body. As if he'd melted into the night. I drove straight to the morgue. Adrenaline burning through me. Burst into the cold storage area. The drawer containing John Doe's body was open. Empty. Dr. Villiers rushed in behind me. What the hell? Adrian, did you move him? No, I choked. I just saw him. On the highway. She looked at me like I'd lost my mind. Until she noticed the ice. On the floor. On the steel table. On the open drawer. Thin sheets of hoarfrost, like something cold had climbed out. Security footage showed only static for 2 hours. All cameras went white with interference. That was when we called provincial supervisors, the kind who don't explain things, only take over. But before they arrived, the third incident happened. I was at the tiny 3-room detachment office in Beer, filing incident reports that didn't make sense even to me. 302. A.M. Snow pounding against the windows, wind, howling like something alive. The lights flickered, radio crackled with static. Then I heard it, a soft knock. On the station's front door. 3 slow taps. I froze in place, grabbed my sidearm, walked to the entry window. The glass was fogged from the inside, frost creeping across it. I wiped a circle with my glove. Someone stood outside, head down. Arms at sides, completely still. The flannel shirt. The jeans. The frozen posture. John Doe. My throat tightened. Stay back, I yelled through the door. He slowly lifted his head, his eyes swirling with frost, locked onto mine. Then he raised one hand and pressed his palm flat against the glass, and the glass froze. Solid. Instantly. Cracked, like a spider web of ice. He wasn't breathing, wasn't blinking. Just standing, like a sculpture of frozen flesh. I backed away. Dispatch, he's here. Static. The power died. Lights went out. Only moonlight lit the room. The man stepped forward. The glass shattered, silently like snow collapsing, and he stepped up. Into the station, his feet didn't leave prints. The temperature dropped so violently frost formed on my eyelashes. He walked toward me, slow, jerky movements like an old puppet. What do you want? I whispered. His jaw cracked open. You left me? My heart lunged into my throat. He took another step. I froze. Alone. I realized something then, something that made bile rise in my throat. He wasn't speaking English. He wasn't speaking any human language. He was imitating sounds, copying the noises humans make, like an animal imitating speech, trying to communicate with a mouth that didn't belong to it. He leaned close enough that frost spread across my uniform, then whispered, "Come with me." I raised my gun. "Stop. Don't come closer." He tilted his head, and the ice around his jaw cracked. Then he dissolved like snow hitting fire. His body collapsed into a cloud of ice crystals that blew across the station, floor swirling around me, and then vanished under the door. Carried by the wind, The temperature rose back to normal. The lights flickered on. The room was empty, except for one thing, a thin sheet of frost on the floor, in the shape of a human sitting upright, hands on knees. Supervisors arrived an hour later. They confiscated my reports, the morgue photos, everything. They coached my statement into something consistent with hypothermia delirium. They ruled it exposure death with officer misinterpretation due to fatigue, and the second sighting, and the morgue escape, and the attack at the station, all erased. But I know what happened. Something froze that man long before he ever touched Canadian soil. Something that wasn't finished with him. Something that walked in his skin for a while, before looking for another host. Every winter, when the wind hits the door just right, I hear those 3 slow knocks. And I swear the frost on the glass looks like a handprint.